At Benjamin Law, we understand the real cost of personal injuries. As the victim of an accident, you may be the one who's physically hurt, but your main concern is that your family are the ones who will pay the price. Benjamin Law will be there for you, helping, supporting, and working tirelessly to resolve your personal injury case. Call 1-855-899-4878 or visit benjaminlaw.ca and let our family of lawyers help your family.
Welcome back. I'm going to shift him over. I'm going to shift you over this way. No, this way. No, this way. Okay, and I'm going to shift over this way. I am very excited to have a pioneer. Can I call you a pioneer?
Nope. No, you can't.
Can I call you a legend?
Legends? No, you can't. You can call me whatever you like.
Okay,
whatever,
let me introduce you.
Whatever floats your boat.
And I'm going to say pioneer and legend to start because he told me I can't. So, Mr. Kerry Lee Crawford, this voice I'm sure you guys recognize, is a renowned on-air host at G98.7 on a show that I would like to call Sad. It is. Has anyone listened to the acronym STEPS After Dark? So that's one of the things I asked him. I'm like, I'll stop. Okay. So he also, you guys need to know, this is going old school now. This is why probably he doesn't want to be called a pioneer or a legend. Is one of the founding members, and Selena, this might be new for you. Do you remember Baby Blue Sound Crew? Have you heard of them? See, young.
Yes.
Okay. So they are multi-Juno nominated. You hear them things, girl? Baby Blue Sound Crew. This is when I was like your age-ish. All right. He's also been there to see the careers liftoffs of who? Let's see, Glenn Lewis, Julie Black, Mr. Cardinal.
Official.
Or official.
Official.
And of course, the one we all know is Mr. Sean Paul. I would like to introduce two In the Now on my new little segment of In the Now called In Tune with the Universe, Mr. Carrie Lee Crawford.
A good day. I'm so happy to be here.
Look at you now. Now you're smiling.
Yeah.
Listen, when he came in here, Raptors. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
So tell me about your night.
You know what? We had the absolute best time celebrating certainly the culmination of a lifetime of work and dedication and commitment. Being a Raptors fan, hey, that's hard work. Right?
Yeah, because they're always losing.
Yeah, right. 19 win seasons, 17 win seasons, just year after year after year of disappointment. And so when you've sown that seed and to see what has blossomed from it, it's something that we certainly take a lot of, a great deal of credit and certainly solace in the accomplishments of the young men. And of course, the women, an amazing organization that the Raptors have put together. It manifests itself on the court, but we don't often see the behind the scenes of the hardworking men and women in the office. And they really, truly do have an exceptional staff down there. So congratulations.
You need to run for like mayor or something. You're so diplomatic.
I'm just saying, it's fun. We went to bed at 5 a.m., 6 a.m.
5 a.m.
Yeah, it was really big, and it wasn't quite, Blue Jays 92, 93. I felt like Blue Jays 92, 93. I was a lot younger, so we literally, 92, 93, we drove from Young and Steeles to Lakeshore on Young Street. So we took Young Street all the way across the city. Took us like a million hours. Last night we started Young Street at York Mills, got to St. Clair, and we were like, you know what? I ate that. No.
Do you know what I was doing at like that time? Sleeping, Brethren. God, you're good.
No,
So thank you for even coming in because I don't know.
Had to, and thank you for the invitation. Certainly a pleasure to be here, and I'm excited in the now. I'm excited, and certainly
you may not be in a few minutes when I start asking you some questions.
Yeah, new segment. Yeah, I do not fold under pressure. It's the Kawhi in me.
All right, we'll see, Mr. Rap. Let's see. So I'm gonna start really easy because people anyone from my time knows about you. But some of these young ones may not.
Right.
And this is why I brought you in, because I think we were talking actually about hard work. Your success did not come
overnight.
You probably had about 24 losses yourself.
Right, 24 years
Years of
it.
losses, sorry.
Yes, yes.
24 years of losses.
Yes, indeed.
So
indeed.
let's talk about like your biggest challenge to this point. What has that been?
Wow.
I know I'm hitting you hard, eh? It gets worse, trust me.
Well, you know what I find to be so compelling is that, coming from the North, the North, early 90s, we could have went into the U.S. and said, hey, the sky's up. And they'd look at you like, yeah, it might be, but you're from Toronto, so you know what, we're just going to wait to see. And so that meaning that having to knock down the doors, having to cut the brush and to create the inroads and the opportunities that now many A, take for granted, and then B, that many have also benefited from. So I think that it was a huge mountain to climb, sleepless nights, not watching basketball, but actually putting together presentations, putting together pitches, and scheduling. What are we going to do when we go into Def Jam? What are we going to say to Kevin Lyles? What's going to go on? What are we doing with Tommy Mottola? This is how he's looking at us. This is what we want to do.
That's crazy.
And this is what the task at hand is. And so I think public perception was a huge thing for us. Just the persona and perception of being from Toronto, which is the irony now, because now
everyone, we're like a brand name now too, like Jamaica, big up.
All you have to do is you're a rapper from Toronto, and they want to listen to you. Oh, you're from Toronto? Okay, play it. Come in. Right? Back in the day,
it wasn't like that.
It wasn't like that. You'd have to sit sometimes in the office for 2 or 3 hours to wait for them to squeeze a 5-minute conversation, a 5-minute meeting, and essentially trying to prove and make the case that we had bangers, we had talent. Carnell was ready to go back then. Sean Paul was ready to go back then, but convincing these executives that was the case, was a huge task, and certainly something that looking back, looking back, it's like, wow, we were dead on, tens of millions of records sold, Julie and Cardinal and Sean Paul, so we knew what we were doing. Mims, this is why I'm hot. Like, we worked with all these individuals, all these cats from, back in the days. So we were dead on, spot on, but it was again about having the medium. And that's what I think the biggest challenge was, creating the medium. And shouts out Drake has the medium now. Anything they put through the pipeline is going to garner the attention. It's going to get the ears on an international basis. And that's what we were essentially striving to do.
So how have your priorities changed now?
Oh my gosh. Well, I feel like back then we were so fixated on validation and being successful and being seen as we are, and sometimes not the way that we were presented as in the maybe mainstay news media, as well as just the Canadian persona. Like, we just, we drink maple syrup and ride horses everywhere. Like, these things that you would hear, we live in igloos, right? These things that literally living in the States, that's what people,
Is there a time difference from Detroit to Windsor? Yeah. Like 3 hours.
I could literally, we don't have time. I have stories from living in Detroit that you would not believe. Literally, you would laugh until tears came out of your eyes. Like, some of the conversations that we've had with Americans, specifically while living in Detroit, just the general understanding, perceptions that they have, you wouldn't believe it. You'd be like, you're lying. Stop telling stories. Like, it's amazing. And so again, that's what we talk about when we talk about perception. That for some reason they don't believe us. The Toronto Raptors, for years, despite the level of success, they still didn't believe them up until, Game 6. People were still trying to make the case that it was an aberration and that Golden State was going to bounce back. And we're like, you know what, maybe next year. But they're not bouncing anything this year, except for out of the playoffs, because we knew that the Raptors were in control, right? And so a huge challenge, just the perception of the way that we were looked at versus who we felt we were, certainly at the time.
Okay, so what would you say your ideal life looks like? Because you stepped away from that scene. Are you living your ideal life right now?
Yeah, what's interesting, even in relations to the first question of changing priorities. Is that either you're part of the problem or you're part of the solution. You can't be both. And so certainly, though the entertainment scene and partying was what it was. It was fun in what it was. It allowed us to make a lot of money and whatnot. It allowed us to create a lot of inroads and develop relationships. But what it did leave was a disparagingly high overrepresentation of what we felt to be a culture that embodied things that were counterproductive or destructive. All right, so we were seeing that the music was fun, but then people started to follow and walk in the steps of the music and the words that were coming out of their mouths. And so we said, well, you know what? We cannot be a part of a system that literally preaches self-destruction.
Yeah.
And so it became very, very challenging because I love music, right? But at the same time, that the power of life and death is in the tongue. It's spoken. So what we speak out is what will manifest itself in our lives. And so we found a lot of people speaking some things that were then manifesting in their lives and in our reality, in our communities. And so where music shifted to, we grew up, and if you were in a bad mood, if you were in a thuggy mood, you could, listen to a little Ice-T, a little NWA. Nothing was wrong with that. But then sometimes you just wake up in a kid and play kind of mode. You just want to party and it ain't gonna hurt nobody. You just want to have fun. And then sometimes you want to be intellectual and you'd say, Public Enemy, we're gonna fight the power, and this is what we're pro-black today. But the point was, your personality, your mood, you could find a style of rap music to suit it, right? Okay. Whereas we find that now it's just like a one-stop shopping. Everything is sex, drugs, and hip hop, Whereas again, there was diversity, there was education. Many things I learned wasn't through schooling. It was through a KRS-One song, a Poor Righteous Teacher song, a song that educated and enlightened and let us know. It was kind of like our CNN. It was like CNN. We didn't have any television stations, so we had to listen to Public Enemy. We had to listen to the Poor Righteous Teachers and
to hear what was going on.
To hear and to understand. And so I had to shift that emphasis from that which was self-destructive to that which would heal, to build, and to create. And so that's where I felt the shift was necessary in the pendulum, because too many young brothers, young sisters addicted to drugs, too many, of course, in the penal system, too many of them having their lives cut short, and just couldn't be a part of a system that was really happy, content, and representing no accountability, words with no consequence. Words have consequence. Words manifest into action. Right? And so I felt personally that I couldn't be a part of a system that is not accountable for what it is birthing out, these seeds that are
That takes a lot, Kerry.
That
must have been hard.
I feel like what I loved the most about music and entertainment was people, right? And so as much as I loved the music, what I loved about the music is the opportunity to bring people together and to share, right? And so when that music stopped, again, representing the ideals that we thought were consistent for a happy, a healthy, a productive community, when it started to do the opposite, it didn't feel natural to be a part of it, to sing certain songs. And I'm gonna keep it real. If you're driving in the car and your kids are in the car and you're singing "Smack That on the floor, smack that." I'm like, what? That song is bad, but you want your 5-year-old singing that? Words have power. And that day I never listened to that radio station after that day. With the kids in the back of the car saying, "What are you teaching them?" Because like osmosis, words are absorbed. And you have to think, people would say that, it's just words. It's just words. It's just jokes. Words have power. To me, there are no jokes. Once you say it, it's into the universe. It goes up into the atmosphere, and what you speak is what will manifest itself. So if you speak peace, happiness, and love, it's peace, happiness, and love that will manifest itself. If you speak hate, you're ready to die, well, guess what?
Sorry, I had to stop. Sorry, I had to give the snap for that.
It's one of those things. So we have so much fun right now, and we have so many initiatives and so many things going on that sometimes contrast the narrative that is pushed out in popular culture right now. And some people really love it and love us for it, and some not so much. Right? Some people.
Why? Because you're not talking about slapping that ass across the floor anymore?
Right. And of course, the perils of drug use. I always say I'm not your dad, right? What you do with on your personal time with your body is your business. However, my job, especially being in having the medium that we have, G987 and the different agencies that we liaise with to go into the community. Our job is to get you the information necessary for you to make an informed choice, an informed decision. Whatever that decision is, who you vote for, who, you do drugs, you don't do drugs, fine, I don't care. It's on you. But our job is to ensure you have the actual and factual information, which we find to be not the case in many instances. I feel like a lot of people are basing 100% of their opinion on 34% of the truth. So yes, that 34%, that is true. That story they're telling you, that is true, but they're telling you 34% of the story 100% of the time. So your basis of understanding is solely from one vantage point or one aspect of the story or the consideration. So our job is to push back and to do our very best to get that information out there, which is not always well received and not always easy. Yeah, it's a challenge. Yeah.
So you know what? Honestly, this is why I wanted to interview, because I knew you would have a lot
to
say.
Yeah.
When we come back, we're going to see how much further we can dig into Mr. Kerry Lee Crawford's mind. He has no idea what I'm about to ask him. We'll see you soon on In the Now.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. May your dreams all come true. Happy birthday to you.
We refuse to promote, report on anything negative in the community. With so many newspapers within the community, it's sometimes hard to tell what separates us from the rest. Most of the time, they all brag about the same thing. The large circulations, tons of online views, and it can go on and on. But what really separates the Toronto Caribbean newspaper apart from everybody else? Well, it's simple. Our service. No, seriously. Hi, I'm Grant Browning, founder and CEO of the Toronto Caribbean newspaper. I have over 20 years of branding and marketing experience, and I've worked with countless companies and corporations to do one thing, and that is to raise their profits with their brand. With over 40 years of combined experience in branding and marketing, our amazing staff is fully prepared to sit down and figure out exactly what you need to stand out from your competitors.
The reason why you don't see that anymore is because
the ad is too powerful, bring too much people.
So what are you waiting for? Give us a call today. We'll be happy to help.
Welcome back, Kerry Y. Welcome back to In the Now. So, are you ready?
Nope. Not at all.
Legend. Pioneer. None of those there?
No.
Okay.
So, father. Yeah.
Okay, father.
There we go.
Legend.
I like that.
Legendary father.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you take for granted?
Oh, wow. Honestly, not very much, if anything. I would not be cognizant or conscious of it, because we are so specific and intentional with everything we do, and our appreciation for, even we often say that freedom wasn't free. It's just that in our instance, it's other people that paid the cost for it. We're very aware of why we are here, why we are allowed to live the quality of life that we are, and it's because of the commitment, the hard work of those who came before us. So we're very intentional with our the way we pay homage to them in the same way that we are very intentional about how we take care of ourselves, our lives, our health, and our community. We're very taking for granted. I don't know.
It must be something you
take for granted. Cheese sticks. I really like unnatural thing for cheese sticks. I don't know who invented them, but we thank you for cheese sticks. I maybe never said that before, but
so grateful
I'm
for
very
cheesies.
Yes, very grateful. I want to thank the little people that made cheese sticks possible. We appreciate you.
I'm done. I'm done with the question.
I don't know. We are so appreciative of so much that goes on in our world, in our life, and that we have so many supporters and in different capacities and so many avenues and opportunities that we have to pursue, that we're so conscious of why those avenues are there. We're so conscious of the contributions of so many that taken for granted. That's a challenging one, because I really thank the Lord every morning when I wake up. Every night when I go to bed. Loving kids and life, and taken for not the time. No, don't take for granted. Yeah.
So what memory instantly makes you smile?
Oh, well, the new one, the Toronto Raptors, of course. That's brand new. We were ear to ear. I love the story of the underdog, and so that is compelling. For me, a lot of my attention is entertainment driven. Just in that it's entertainment has played such a big role in my life. So I think about the first time seeing, was it Chocolate on Jay Leno or whatever that was, and talking about, Janet Jackson, talking about Glenn Lewis was her favorite artist to listen to, and I really those moments of seeing something that you love and that you work toward, and then being a part of it, and then seeing it manifest itself, felt really great, and similar to, again, the Raptors. And anytime you have, hard work put in, and you have the seed sown, but then you have to demonstrate the discipline and the patience and patience in order to, to nurture, to cultivate that crop, those seeds, and to see those seeds then manifest themselves into a crop is something that I take great pride in. And so certainly, I know it's entertainment, basketball and music related, but certainly do feel
it does. No, but it's a memory, and it did. I'm watching you speak about it, and you were talking about Chocolate and then Janet Jackson. I saw the smile, but that's what I wanted to see, right? See what actually makes you smile. That's why you asked the question. So another one. What overwhelms you?
Oh, I think right now my gravest concern is, I call it the weapons of mass misinformation, and that there are so many people who are wrong and strong, and you're like, well, how do you tell them that? The information that they're basing their understanding on is only a portion of the actual story, or maybe just straight up fake news, right? Fake news, fake hair, fake boobs, everything's fake, but then you want to live a real life, right? So I'm like, how are we going to live real when everything, the food is fake, there's so many things, additives and all these different, and so that for me, we live in a world, I feel, where up is down and down is up and right is left and left is, that to me is confounding and confusing, in that in order for us to continue to nurture our inheritance. We inherited a beautiful planet. We inherited a beautiful country. We're not taking care of anything.
Nope.
Right? And so when I see the plastics that pollute the oceans, and you look at the extent to which, it is affecting the sea life, and you look at we're poisoning the earth and subsequently ourselves, and just the inability to really take action, I think is really concerning. And again, extremely concerning, the statistics in relation to cancer, right? The cancer rates. Like, this is something that, 100 years ago was under 1%, and now it's like, what is it, 1 in 3, Canadians in their lifetime will be diagnosed with cancer. Well, I would just love to see more emphasis paid to not just, oh, let's find a cure. How about prevention? You know, how about we take the steps to understand what has happened, transpired in the last 100 years. It's obviously man-made. It's obviously lifestyle, right? And we hear different things, and obviously a lot of lawsuits in courts right now. And so our thing is to, get that information, the education to the consumer so they can make an informed choice to protect themselves and their loved ones. Yeah.
How do you not want to be called a legend, though?
Oh, legend.
Understand.
I don't even know what. I'd have to read perhaps the definition. I am just can you pull up the definition for legend, please, when you get a second? Someone who enjoys life, and I want people to be able to, we talk about just living to their potential, right? To maximizing, optimizing their life experiences. That's all I want. So when we were partying, all we wanted people to do was just have fun. That was come out, have fun. Oh, you have to hear this song. This song is so good. Oh my God, you have to hear that. Oh, listen to this mix. I was practicing this mix at home. Wait till you hear this. It was just the excitement of sharing a sentiment, and whether that was music or in sports, and or now just in information sharing, just allowing people and empowering them, right? Life skills empowerment. We say that you could be the best lumberjack in the forest, but you're not cutting down any trees with a hammer, all right? So what does that mean?
Well, you could. It just takes too long.
It means it
take a long time. That's all.
It's about developing the necessary tools in your toolbox that allow you to navigate your reality. Navigating our reality, which may not be the same as your reality, like fingerprints, no two are the same, but it is so vitally important that we have the dialogue, the conversations, the interactions that allow us to empower ourselves to maneuver and to conquer, over our circumstance.
Do you find that definition for legend, please?
Yeah, legend.
I can't see that, girl.
Legend. Yes, good. As long as they can see it.
Okay, I can't read it.
Legend, John Legend.
But y'all read that.
Right. Yeah, I don't know if that applies. I'm not certain.
Selena, can you read it for me, please?
Yes. Traditional stories sometimes popularly regarded as historical, but unauthentic.
Would you not say that you're unauthenticated, and that you're not historical?
That might apply. That could,
Okay.
You might.
I'm an English teacher, eh?
Yes, you may.
Go ahead, Selena. Sorry, but okay. Thank you for that. I just wanted to prove my point, so I can use the word now. I can use it with power now, because words are power.
Words are power.
All right.
I concede.
Would you rather be crazy rich or deeply in love?
Ooh. I'd rather be crazy rich with someone I'm deeply in love with. Can I an answer?
No.
Okay. Sorry.
One or the other. You gotta pick. Crazy rich, deeply in love. You are not able to have both.
You gotta be. It's gotta be deeply in love, because riches and success is only as good as those who you have to share it with.
Okay.
And so that's why we have all these people trying to fill a spiritual, emotional hole with physical things like alcohol and substances, because that fulfillment, that those physical monetary cars and houses, that can't give you that. Money, the thing that money can get you, that it cannot fill a spiritual, emotional, or a mental gap. So I feel like get solid, get right, love and emotionally, and I feel like everything else will fall into place.
If this was like 20 years ago, what would that answer have been?
It would have been money.
Right away.
Yeah, it would have been money, but it wasn't until getting the cars and getting the houses and having those experiences and realizing that you can have 2 or 3 cars, but you can only drive one at a time. You can have 2 or 3 houses, you can only live at one at a time. So, it's only as good as who you have to share it with. And so if you don't have a legacy, if you don't have a love, if you don't have real friends, then what's the point of having, the money? There's, it's really just fleeting, is what I found in my experience. And,
okay, you know what? You're talking about things being fleeting and friends, and I do want to talk about this before we end with some of the things that you are doing in the community, because you're doing quite a bit. People don't know that, but you are doing quite a bit. So let's talk to some of these young ones about friends and what happens when, A, that incline starts, when there's a drastic drop,
Mm-hmm.
and then when the incline is going back up again. What if you notice about friends in your past?
The ebbs and flows, the hills and the valleys. I feel like friends is a relative term, and that it's conditional, and that it really is predisposed to the individual experience. I find that my personal experience has seen a lot of fake friends. Obviously, that's nothing that we're not aware of. Right? Jake has these songs about it, right? It's the way the world is, or friends that maybe they're friends, but they're conditional friends, so they will be there as long as the conditions are suitable to their interests.
Them.
Yeah, for them, to their needs. And soon as those conditions change, when I quit drinking alcohol, I wouldn't have alcohol in my house. There's people who used to come over every day, and then I noticed that, hey, these guys, they come over anymore.
Yeah.
They come over and like, yo, what's there? Well, just checking in on you. Just, they look in the fridge and there's no alcohol in the fridge, and they're like, oh, man, I can't, man, I gotta go. And it literally took me a while to put it together, right? It
crazy.
literally took me a while to be like, oh, them guys don't be coming around anymore. What's going on? And so, of course, that
They could have just brought their own liquor
right,
and come to hung out.
Right.
Just saying.
That would defeat the purpose, because then they'd have to spend their own money, right? And so that's what I found with my friend experience, is that when I was spending the money, it was all good, right? But as soon as I stopped spending the money, then then it's problems, and then all of a sudden, there's like, there's rumors, and there's beef, and there's issues, and I'm like, but when you are the type of person to give your shirt off of your back, that becomes a expectation, and to me, the inevitability of an expectation is that it then evolves into a demand. So then you wake up and one day somebody's demanding that you take your shirt off of your back, and they're actually upset with you
because
when
you won't.
Yeah, and they're like, "Oh, how dare you not give me your shirt?" Right? But when
Because it's cold.
Yeah, but when you've been giving and been doing and bending backwards, right? It's you certainly leave yourself susceptible in certain respects. So I think it's also a self-love thing. When you love yourself, and I always say that it is so important to really be at a place of peace, that your joy is found within and not outside or without, because that's when you become dependent on different things and different people, and and for me, I think that was the biggest revelation, is just finding my self-identification within. So I didn't need validation or somebody to say, "Oh man, nice car," or somebody to say,
"You're a legend."
Right. So I love myself, and so I just hold it down with myself and find my joy.
You can't even help it. I'm sorry.
You just dropped it in there. I was like, you just dropped it in, just like legend.
So let's tell people what you're doing now before we end.
Yes.
Where, because you have this we could probably talk for a while, because there's so much to what you've done. This is just like so what I am going to do is I'm going to actually be doing so everyone knows about Toronto Caribbean newspaper and our section called Classic Man.
Ooh.
I've been asking him for an interview.
Classic.
So I got a little bit now, but I'm going to get some more. I'm going to draw some more details out of him. So this interview might be done.
Okay.
But it's not really done.
That's
just
so much fun.
Stay tuned. No, it's done. You got to come out now. So let's tell people where you are, what you're doing right now, where they can find you.
Of course, Monday to Thursday, 10 p.m. until 1 a.m. at G98.7 FM, Steps After Dark.
Sad.
Yes, helping the world fall back into love, one slow jam at a time. And as well, we run various programs, initiatives, seminars throughout the mega city, specifically for youth, but as well we do seniors. And the whole idea is what we talked earlier about, the life skills empowerment. So it's providing the youth the necessary information that allows them to sharpen the tools in their tool chest, that they might be able to navigate their circumstance, their reality, consistent with their ideology, and not just falling prey to, of course, situations that they just didn't know how to handle, and ends up in a state where they are now in a position that they didn't want to be in. So, you know, what position you want to be in, we just want to make sure you have the tools that, you know, in order to get there. Yeah, to get there. And so we ran something called the 100 Carrie's 100 Tuxedo Challenge. So gave away on 100 tuxedos to young boys, to men doing amazing things in their school communities. And as well, we're getting ready for summer camp. And so the summer camps around the GTA, the Jane and French Basketball Classic, 41 years. And so all sorts of initiatives to bring out the youth, to bring out the community, just like the Raptors, so we can celebrate together. We can cheer and cry and complain, but do it together. And so there's a lot going on. We're in the community. We're doing that as well. We're, of course, playing a little romantic music, you know, on G98.7. Romantic.
Fun, sad.
Steps After Dark. Oh, I'm to your friend. and really just bringing people together, right? Just like, you know, we want people to smile your smile, like the same way that smile.
Not possible.
We love people. We love this, you know, seeing people smile. We love hanging out. Yeah, not impossible. It's like
not the Colgate.
44,000 watts of pulsating action, Colgate action. That's the free plug for you.
I can't. Yeah. Legend. Thank
Yeah.
you.
No, thank you. It's so much fun, and congratulations as well. Loving the show.
Thank you.
And we watch it, and we get to say, oh my goodness, oh that was great. I love how you put it together. So a pleasure to be here.
Thank you.
And certainly all the best and all the blessed moving forward. Yeah.
All right, people. Thank you for staying tuned. Thank you for listening to us. Thank you, Kerry, again, for sharing your story.
Amazing.
We will see you next Friday, guys. Let's just cheer it up. Let's have a wonderful weekend. Monday is the parade.
Raptors.
My TCN TV network will be at the parade, so you'll be able to catch everything that's happening live and direct. We will see you guys on In the Now next Friday. No, you won't. I won't be here. Sorry, I lied. I'll see you guys in 2 weeks.